Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. One thing that I used to do here is a shed. Oh, there used to be a shed up there on the side of field 13. Just right up there on the end of it. That's where I used to store my potato harvesters. When I played this game myself, I used to drive, I had 2 or 3 potato harvesters, whatever it was, and that's the shed that I used to keep them in, up there on field 13. Field 13 I used to buy quite a bit later on compared to some of the things that I would buy, but that's where I would store the potato harvest, because I didn't really go into root crop harvesting in any kind of big way until I'd gone a bit further along with the game. And mainly because of the expense involved with buying the harvesters. Right, they were quite expensive beasties to go and buy up all of those. So we're just going to go whizzing past you, coming down this hill. And all of this land down here, down in the valley, this is stuff that we buy much later on. I'm not planning to buy this early in the game at all. I'm definitely going to be buying this later rather than earlier. But that right there, that was the farm shop in there. I think that was the farm shop. Pretty sure it was. And that's where one of the Kramers were, in the car park at the back there. That's where you would find that one. And then you got these long fields here. It used to frustrate me a bit, these walls. The wall that used to irritate me the most, though, was the one that was around the field way up over it, there, up behind the sheep. There's a walled field over that way, and that one used to really, really bug me. You have that huge, great big field potential up there, and you had this wall that went right through the middle of it, and it really sort of limited just how much you could do with the field up there. I really didn't like that. Right, it looks like in here we've got, let's have a look. We want to, the port is the front one, the sawmill is the one at the back, and then you've also got the sawmill over there. Oh, that's wood chips over there. I see. Right, so what's that? Let's go and have a look. What's this over here? Oh, that's the wood. Yeah, that's the wood sell point right there. And then you've got the port down here, the harbour. So the train doesn't. There isn't a train. There used to be. I don't think it was down on the port. The other one, you used to load up the train, and then you'd send it off. You'd physically send it off. They had that in 15. I think they got rid of that in 17. Because then they had trains that you actually drive around the map instead. Like they changed them over, essentially. Right, I want to go here, and I want to go here, and we want to tip both of these out. Let's see what we get in the way of money for this load of wheat. I'm not going to go and bring the rest of the wheat down. It's not going to be worth driving all of that distance just for that last little bit. But we get 30,000 euros right there for that little bit. That's not bad going. And this is why I like the easy settings, because it does make it a lot quicker to sell stuff and start to advance. So we got 60 grand at the moment. We'll have a look in a bit at... Actually, now we've sold that, we can actually start fast forwarding time again. We don't want to do it too much, because we're going to want to be able to plant again. I don't really want to wait another night before we do the harvest. So, well, I tell you what, we'll wait until 4 o'clock. We'll wait till 4 o'clock, and then I will stop. And if the crop hasn't ripened by 4 o'clock, then we will instead, we'll just go and we'll skip the night, and then we'll start the harvest it first thing in the morning. And then we can do our planting and so on from then. We've got some other crops that we would have available to sell. I suppose we could have a look and see what other stuff... I don't want to sell the barley, because we're about to harvest that, so I'd rather wait until I've gotten more barley in store before I go selling any. But we've got a couple of other crops that we could go and sell, make a little bit more money. Plus then we've got the barley that will be coming in. And we might then be in a position to go and buy some more land. We've got the wood cutting equipment, so we'll be able to cut down the trees that we've got around the edge of our field, and there's a little bit more money that will be able to come in. That will, I don't know how much we'll get for that. And those trees, I can't see us getting a lot more than just a couple of thousand for the trees. Maybe it will be more. I haven't played on easy settings, so I don't really... Well, or did I? Did I do any series? Well, I don't think I've done any series on the easy settings yet. I think I've had medium economy settings on all of them. This one, we've got the easy settings. We got the good prices coming in for all of this. So, you know, maybe the timber will actually get us a fairly decent amount of money. It'd be quite cool if it did. It would be rather nice if we could get a nice chunk of... Ooh, I meant to stop at 4 o'clock. Right, well, now I'm not starting harvest now. It's almost 5:45. It means we'll be harvesting in the dark. It is now actually ready to cut. The main reason I don't want to start harvesting, I just want to check the prices a second and see how we're doing. Let's have a look in here. No big changes at the moment, so we'll stop there. We'll leave the trailers out because there's a good chance that we'll want them again first thing in the morning. Yeah, it's gone on a little bit too late. I don't want to start the harvesting now at 6 p.m. So we're going to run up the farmhouse and we're going to sleep the night. And then in the morning, we'll be able to start the harvest. I'll check and see if we've got any crops that we want to sell before we actually get going with harvesting. So we'll come on round here. Can I sleep now at 6:30? You're not tired. Shows what you know. I've had a busy day. I've done an awful lot. I've got to wait until 7 o'clock by the look of it. So we just need a few more minutes and maybe they'll let us sleep. I want my sleep. This is not a prison camp. I'm allowed to sleep whenever I want. Right? It's a standard rule when you're not living in a prison camp, is you can sleep whenever you want. There's nothing to say that you can't sleep. Right, it is a bit of an overcast day. 9 o'clock. I think we'll run and... You know what? Let's just stop now. Let's not worry about that. Okay, prices. Wheat has gone down right across the board. Barley has gone down. That one's still climbing, the restaurant right there. But 1,111 is the highest price we've seen for barley so far. Oats are down. Canola is about the highest I've seen it. 2005, 2019 is the highest recorded that I've got. And then the rest of these we do. Oh, it's the corn over here. 1327 was the highest I've seen for corn. And that's 1200 at the moment. And then these others we don't need to worry about too much. I could possibly get a little bit if I took the canola there down to the ranch. Right, 2005, that's about the highest. It's on a par with the highest that we've seen it. So we're looking at, for that, about 24,000 added to the total. The only reason to do it immediately is so that we can go and buy some more land. Because what we want to do is we want to be able to buy that field there as our next bit. We need 200,000 for that. This one out here, we also need 200,000. Those are kind of the next fields that we want to buy. And then there's these up here. That one's 153. That one's 117. And then that one over there is 192. This one, I typically used to do grass in that one. And I'll probably end up doing the same in this game. Cows... If I want to be able to buy cows, I've got to spend 159,000 to start them off. And it's going to be the same with the biogas over here. I've got to spend 332 to start doing biogas. So I'm not going to worry about them just yet. We want to try and get this field. That's what we're going to try to work towards. I probably won't. Let's jump out onto here. So we're not going to worry about going and getting anything sold at the moment. I won't worry about that. We'll keep that until we've got some more crop coming up. I will just run over here and repair this one very quickly because the headers on the combines, they do wear out pretty quickly. So we repair you there. Oh, that one's not too bad actually. And we'll do that one, and then we will whiz round here and get going with this harvest. Soon as we've made a bit of space on here with the harvest going, we could go and get started with cutting down the trees along the edge here. Alright, that's something that we want to do. We want to be able to pick up these trees and we want to sell them. So we could go and get going with that bit. So let's bring you along here, and then I want to just go like that. We'll use standard hired help version for this. You can run up through there. We'll deal with picking up the straw in a bit. I just need to make sure that he can get past here first time. We'll leave both trailers hooked up onto the tractor back over there. I'm physically pointing over my shoulder right now. I'm actually going to swap them over and we'll put those on the Sammy Argon. Both those trailers can stay on it, and that will make it a little bit easier for us in the field here. Are you? No, you're not. You're going to be difficult. So what we will do instead is we will just do that. I will drive on past that tree right there, and then I will do that. And hopefully he will now, or she will now go and do all the rest of it without any issue. So I need to be able to get down to this one. So we're going to take you right there, and I'm going to unhitch those two trailers there. I will bring you along over this way, and we will stop you there. We will then go to this one. One thing that I am going to do is I'm going to put fertilizer on the field before we start cultivating, so that the second round of fertilizer can be put on after we've done the planting, and it's all sort of done all in one go. That'll make life a little bit faster and quicker and easier for us. I want to get these two trailers on now. We could do the front weight for this tractor, just to be able to help us out. Maybe wheel weights would help. Let's get the wheel weights. That's an FS19 option that will just help us out a little bit. I quite like that idea. So let's jump onto you. Customize right there, and design wheel setup, wheel weights. That's the one we'll go for. Customize, yes, that's 1,000. Let's take those. Let's see what difference that makes to using these trailers. Otherwise, we're probably going to want a front weight for this tractor to just help us out a little bit. What's that like? Actually, those wheel weights look like they're going to be sufficient. They're enough to just keep us rolling, I think. That's all we really need. Just enough to just keep us going at the moment. I'm on 70% now with barley on that combine, so we'll bring this around. Have you noticed that the trailers actually, the sheet rolls back the wrong direction? You really want the sheet rolling back in the opposite direction to that, don't you? I'm going to fill up this back one a little bit. Put in a fair bit into this back one in here. 70% we're on the combine. If I bring you up to here, you'll stop right there, and then we'll put everything into this trailer. I think if I just leave the trailer here, the combine will go on past. He won't drive into it while he's turning around. That might just be wishful thinking. It might not actually do that. It might end up crashing into it. It does end up crashing into it. Alright, fine. I will move out of the way. I will move over here, out of the way. Like that. That's going to be in the way, isn't it? So let's move out of the way a little bit more. We could do a bit of mowing here if we really wanted to. I'm not going to worry about mowing at the moment. I'm going to put that one down there like that. And then I'm going to go to this tractor. And we're going to run down and we're going to get the stump grinder. And we're going to get the crane down there as well. And we're going to bring those back up. And then we can have a look at removing those trees. The troublesome trees on the side of the fields. Once this barley is harvested, we're not yet in a position to be selling that barley, I don't think. Therefore, Like, I'm sort of just looking at, like, if we look at these prices, the prices are quite low. That is low there. But, I mean, the ranch and the restaurant, I got hopes that those are going to give us our best prices. Although wheat, we had to go all the way down to the port. That was our best price for the wheat. So we keep an eye on those two prices right there. See what they do. But yeah, we need 200,000 to be able to buy that field. That one right there, that's 200. We need another $150,000, which I don't have. I don't have any way of getting it. We can sell some trees, we can do some logging, and we'll also be able to make a bit of money, I'm hoping, from the straw. We're a little bit coming in for that, but again, it's not going to be vast amounts of money that are coming in from that. Which means that we're kind of, like, at least as far as making the money, we're not going to be able to buy our next field before we're ready to start planting oats. So, again, it's going to be just the small field. We'll plant the oats on the small field, and we'll let that grow through. And then when we've done that, we should then be in the position to be buying our next field and expanding the farm. So I'm sort of thinking, let's go up that way a minute. We can't. There's no road in straight in across. We have to go all the way around. Okay, we'll do it this way. Giving this a little bit of thought, I'd like to extend the short field. I don't want to get rid of the road that's out the front. The little bit of road that's out the far side, that can go. That doesn't matter. All right, let's go into landscape mode and we can take a look at this. So we go to landscape mode right here. Okay, so we wander over this side first, and we take a look. So we can extend the field out sort of over this way. We want to get rid of that tree up there. We'll get rid of these two trees over here as well, and we can extend this field out. What we will likely do, though, is, well, we'll extend it out where we can, and we might do a little bit of smoothing of the terrain here in the middle so that we can extend the field out a bit further. Although I don't own that land. It's right on the edge here anyway, so there's not much of that we'll be making any changes to. And then over here, when we get this, we will extend the field out, right out to the edge. Over here, we go to the edge of that road all the way up through, and I'll take out a couple of those trees plus that one. Bring it back. We'll get rid of that tree, and we'll get rid of this tree and this one down here and extend it out. Then this field here, when we extend the other side, we'll extend this side down to the road here, and we will go right out to the road on this side. That road up through the middle we will keep. We won't turn this into one big field, but we'll bring the fields on each side right out to the road as tightly as we can. Now, we can't go and buy this piece of field in the middle, because if you have a look in here and we go to land, that little bit, oh, I see, right there, look, they've actually put a little kink into that, just to make that a little bit more difficult. So we might end up not getting that anyway. But yeah, if we want to buy that, that's 8.6 million to buy all of that extra piece of land all the way around there. Right, we'd have to buy that entire section there. I know why they've done that. It's to try and keep it within the realms of what you could do in this game back in FS13. Right, you couldn't extend into the cliff up there, so that's why they've done it. They've done it in such a way that you're still playing pretty much like you did in FS13. Did I say 15? I think I said 15 just now. But yeah, I like that. I do actually like that. I think that is pretty cool. Things like this here, I did say about this before in the last harvest. I'm not going to worry about the combine stopping on the wrong side. We'll let them stop on the wrong side if that's what they need to do, and we will just kind of work with it. Right? We'll just drive onto the crop and we will work with it. I don't mind small little things like that happening. That's absolutely fine. That's not going to make any vast difference to anything that we do. Large capacity. I did have somebody ask, you know, I said that I was going to be doing larger capacities, and they said, well, what's to stop you from speeding up this combine and putting like a 20,000 litre tank on it? I didn't actually start increasing the capacity of trailers, combines, seed drills, anything like that at all. I didn't do it with seed drills because I just had the helper buy the seed in the field. Was to stop me from increasing it right from the beginning. I didn't actually start increasing capacities on machines until quite a bit later on in gameplay. You know, I did build up until I got to the biggest machines, and then once I reached the biggest machines, and it was still going quite slowly, then I would alter the capacities of trailers and combines and things like that, just to help it out a little bit. But it wasn't until I'd reached that point. So it's not something I'm going to be doing, like, immediately. That sort of felt like it would be too unrealistic. Right, this is what I don't like about felling trees. Right, I can't clean this up if I'm not standing on my own property. See, I don't have access to this land on a number of these, so it won't let me cut them with the chainsaw. See? Can't do it over here. I don't have access to this land. So I gotta cut them sort of about there. But anyway, I'll cut that one off there a minute. Like that. Take you down there. We can pick some of these up and we can move them. So I just got to bring that one round until I get to a point where I can access it, and then we'll just have to use the tractor to drag the thing over. Move it over a little bit so that we can clean up the timber, and then we can move it. So that one is down there. I will cut this one through here. And then these big logs here, I think we want to cut it there, I think. We should hopefully be able to pick up that great big one down there. I'm hoping. I don't know how many trees we can get onto the thing that we've got here. I don't have access to this land. It's because it's right on the edge of this road. I think. Let's have a look. Go to land. There. Oh, no. That's all right. It's just the field there. We need to be able to buy that field, essentially. That's what's going to make the difference on here. You're on 72%. I could probably have done with emptying that combine already, really. Oh, well, what's done is done. Let's go to you. Now, that stump grinder, I'll leave the stump grinder for a minute. What I want to do is I'll leave it on the front of the tractor. I will bring this one over here, and we'll see what we can do with moving some of these logs and stuff around. I just want to move them over close enough that I can clean them up, and then we can see about chucking them onto the trailer. So if I bring you back this way, and then I go like that, straps is... Okay, we got several straps on there. So now I can go here onto this one, and what do we have on it? Control group crane. So that camera... Change active side. Alternative AI. I don't want alternative AI. Turn on forestry mulcher. I think it's Z. No. Control Z. No. Okay, I don't know how you change the control group. I want to put down the... Right, I can bring that one up. That one up there. Just remember how to use all the controls properly. But I don't know how to put the feet down. Right, well, it's not that. I've got to change the control group. You know, I'm not actually sure how to do that. Maybe it would be better if I drive forward a minute. Lower that one. Oh! I press G and it just changes everything around. Right, okay, I've got that now. I figured that bit out. So I'll bring you back into there and then there. And you can see right on... I don't know if you can make that out. Above the help window, it's got 1 up there and I got control group 1. I press G, it's now got control group 2 support arm. And then I go to the forest mulcher on the front, and it's got 0 above there, so it's not actually active. So there, that's the crane, and then that's the support arms. So the support arms, I can put those down, like that, just using my joystick. Plonk them down in place, and then I go back. Now I've got the crane on there, but I don't want the crane at the moment. I want to go to, I don't want to go to you. I want to go to you right here, and we want to go and empty out this combine again. Still on the wrong side. If I watch, actually, looking at it there, I think the next time it goes all the way up to the top end of the field, and it'll go round again, it should have turned round to reach the final bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unload it there, and I'm going to let that drop back down to about, well, it's got to be below 80%. So we'll drop it to below 80% like that. Is that far enough away? Is that far enough away? It's not quite far enough away. I'm gonna have to bring it round like this. What I was thinking is we would just drag it out of the way like that. Now he's starting up. We'll drag it out of the way like this, and then we'll let the combine go up to the end of the row, turn round, and then we'll run alongside it, coming down the fields, just with our little road train effect going on here, and then we can run back through and go and deal with the tree down there. So I got 1 tree at the moment I've done. I got 2 there that we need to do. We've got quite a lot of trees that we're going to want to remove. We may get fed up with doing the trees like this. We may decide that we just want the big stump grinder thingy-mahoo-ha that just turns them straight into wood chips and do it that way. Because that is an awful lot easier than doing it picking up the logs and everything. Just quickly turn them into wood chips, dump the wood chips into these trailers here, and then we'll have to run them down to the port. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sort of thinking that we might try and do the trees properly just to start with, and then if we get really fed up with that, then we can always change things over and do the trees the much faster methods. And race through them without worrying about them very much. For a minute, though, I'm not going to worry about them at all. I'm just going to cruise down along here, and then we will go down there, and we will see if we can drag them. I just need to move them back off of the other field so that I can clean them up, and then I can get the all of the branches loaded up. I should be able to load quite a few of them by hand, actually, because it's surprising what you can pick up on the trees. Just a little bit more down here. It's actually going to be a pretty cool screenshot, so we'll go like that with that, I think. Look at that. There we go. Right. We'll leave all of that going on over there. So I've got now camera views on here. I've got that camera view. I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather. We're going to have a little bite to eat. And then we can get back to it, nice and refreshed, and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.